If you haven't
Has any?
listened to
I want
Soft
to know.
Voice,
Yeah, I know. I want to know if anyone's listened to episode 3. Are we on episode 3 or 4? No, 3.
we're on episode 3 today. Yeah.
Because three's a bit mad. 3 goes like, yo. He was just like, he was like, that
Yeah,
was
no,
crazy.
it's good. I think that one thing that we've enjoyed
Oh,
is having that cathartic experience of talking about it with our friends once they've listened to it, and definitely would advise anybody who's listening or got any listening circles to kind of listen in and dial back with their friends to kind of like to let all their feelings and all the feels off their chest, because it's like secret. Teppa's put Granny Night Night as a mood.
Yeah.
But
Granny
yeah,
Night Night is a
yeah,
mood.
you're a
Yes.
legend.
Misty said she cried
Yeah,
Oh,
Granny Night
over
Night's
episode 3.
a legend of these parts. So, but yeah,
oh gosh. Yeah. I mean, one of these questions is, I think, who is your favorite character? And if now we don't all say Granny Night Night, it's but at
Yeah,
the
I
same time,
know.
there's
Graham,
so many people to
Graham.
choose. Which Graham? Graham with an H or Graham with an E?
I'm not gonna say because I don't want to. Yeah, Graham.
Don't worry, I don't think people will remember that. It's fine.
Which Graham? Never mind.
I
Next
love how that was
one.
just a smooth transition. Graham's hilarious. I really do love.
That how Graham sounds on voice notes is how I probably sound now. How I think how I'm sure I
Do
sound when
you?
Yeah,
Does
yeah.
he?
yeah. Yes. Bruv,
Hopefully.
bruv. Shinna put bruv Graham jars me.
Ah.
Yeah, Shinna. Yeah, you know why it
Um,
jars Shinna? Because he's like a barrister.
Mm.
okay. What else have we got? What else have we got? Would you rather have soft voice or dark voice take over?
Oh, that's a really hard question. I would say I'd rather, I'd probably say dark voice because I'd be like, do you know what? At least maybe you have a fleeting moment of fun, even if you end up like in a river somewhere face down. That's so dark, but it is a dark voice. I feel like soft
I feel
voice
like
is
yeah.
soft voice.
Go on.
No, I was going to say, I feel like soft voice is like those movies where they put a chip in your head and you're not even yourself. Where the dark voice is just like like leaning, which is just as bad. But if you're asking me which one, I don't know. I'd probably go dark voice.
I think
They're both bad, but
at this point in the podcast, probably
in a river.
once you get if people have listened to like the first two, I think at this point they'd certainly be saying dark voice. I think once you get to listen to a few more episodes of it, it'll become more of a
Yeah,
debate as to which
Yeah.
one and whom.
I should
That's probably
agree.
yeah.
Well, would
Naomi,
three
that
is
was so morbid. I know. Sorry, I'm reading the comments. That was really morbid.
Yeah, it was quite
I
awful actually.
know.
well,
I
three,
don't know.
three
I
is
was
where it
trying to
starts to
answer his.
turn, right? Three?
Something's
Three is where
happening.
it
Yeah,
starts to turn.
So
It's a lot of fun at the start of
yeah, I
three.
kind of get the feels that a bunch of people that are in this live or who are ducking in and out haven't maybe seen any of Soft Voice. So if that's the case, let's presume that they haven't heard anything. But the whole idea of having a voice in your head, I think, is one that we all can relate to. And the idea of kind of like where these voices come from and who and what they're connected to, and who they may even be. They might even be, yeah. So they're just super interesting. I think for me, soft voice is a voice probably that's quite I can understand and feel as though has been in my
Yeah,
head
because
for
it's
quite
that
some time.
athlete thing, isn't it?
Probably, yeah.
I'm sure every athlete has a bit of
Is
soft
that
voice.
perfectionism?
That perfectionism.
Is that pursuit of perfection that nobody has still ever found? So
Mm.
so yeah. But anyway,
So there's a couple of questions that are coming in. Is there a place to listen to the podcast for free? Yes. Anywhere you listen to
Yes.
podcasts, it's free. It's really good. Any platform, it's on all of them. What is your favorite episode so far?
In the kind of like the going back and forth and the demo versions, 3 was always one of my favorites. The one that was released today. Um,
Yeah.
but I do,
I
yeah.
really
I mean,
liked. I
I
think
don't know.
6 is the one that I liked. I can't remember which ones are
I'm
which
not,
though.
May. I'm not going to tell them one that's not out yet. Like yeah, 6, the one you haven't heard yet, and you won't hear for
No,
3 weeks.
I
But yeah,
know.
no, they're all great. Listen to number 1 first, and if you listen to number 1, I
Listen to
think you'll
number
probably
one
get
Yes.
first.
it.
I mean, by the way, I'd be surprised if someone was like,
Can you
you know
imagine? Can you
what?
no, but can you actually imagine trying to listen to number 3 and even remotely
I
understanding
love
what's
I
going
love
on?
these people. Do you know what I mean? Like, are you interested in architecture? You know, people are just on a different vibe, you know? When
Love architecture.
do you like architecture? Why?
It's probably
Yes, of
so,
course.
someone's going to try and sell us something. Go on.
Yeah, I know, probably.
Oh, it's
Um,
amazing. What is it? How do sounds get made in a podcast? Did we have you do a lot of efforts? I feel like
oh my
that's a big part
gosh,
of it.
so many efforts, you guys. So basically, for those of you who don't know, efforts. In movies and TV shows, you have what's called ADR, which is what does ADR even stand for?
Automatic dialogue replacement.
Additional
Additional?
dialogue
Additional dialogue
recording.
replacement. Recording? Okay,
Recording.
I made it
That's
up.
what. Yeah, I think it's no, but you were on the right track. Additional.
It
I think
sounded
it's
convincing.
additional. Yeah. So and in that it's like if they don't get if for example the sound is off when you're shooting a scene and there's a I don't know rustling with your something wrong with your mic, you have to dub over yourself and then you have to give like effort to say you're running. You have to be like and just give all of these like and a lot of the time it's just breaths. So like doing so many breaths, it can make you feel so lightheaded. And it's honestly my work. I hate doing. That's like my arch nemesis is efforts. And yes, there was a lot of efforts, and I always get really really lightheaded, and I feel like I'm about to faint.
Oh,
But yeah,
we save it to
fun
the
fact of
end.
filmmaking, guys.
Yeah, we saved
Yeah,
all the effort
yeah.
to
Oh,
the
we do
end.
100%.
So yeah, because I think that's really fair because it's a lot of like and there's screaming and there's like coughing and grunting and like a lot of this kind of. But that's not
Oh
the
yeah, and
only
also the
reason
most
we do
awkward
sound.
thing about ADR is when you're doing efforts and it just sounds dodgy. It just sounds it really does. There's no other way to put it. It just sounds like it's just
Out of
Yeah.
context, they're odd noises for somebody to hear. But there's also like in the podcast, there's some like incredible sound design, and there's some incredible music, and there's some incredible. There's a great score that's happening. There's just great atmospheric sounds. There's like a really cool thing that happens in episode 3. Um, if you listen with headphones, which you definitely should try to, um, when Lydia has come off a plane and something happens in her ears that happens to you also. Like there's so
oh
much
yeah, I love
stuff
that.
that's
I thought
happened that
something was wrong
like
with my headphones when that happened. Then I was like,
Yeah.
oh wow, yeah.
yeah. So yeah, no, the sound design's like so sick, and I don't even understand how it comes about, but there's people that do, thankfully, and they're making
We
it possible.
hire, we're very lucky and we hire people who do that for a living. You know, they have, it's like a lot of it is libraries, like they've purchased a library from a big, data, whatever, that is all of these sounds that we take for granted that like now exist on their hard drive. And they literally create it from an existing library that is, however many people own or share. But then sometimes it gets really specific. And like, for example, our sound designer and sound effects editor on Soft Voice may have been like, okay, well, to create this world, I really need to enhance it with this kind of, I don't know, walking sort of sound because of what kind of shoes Lydia wears, right? So they will go either and try and find that somewhere else, or they will record it themselves. Because most sound designers will have that capability. And I'm now imagining, one of our sound designer in heels, like with a microphone, like hanging down next to them as they
Yeah.
walk around their apartment or something,
To
No,
try
it's
and
the
get the
whole thing,
sound,
isn't
yeah.
it?
But that's,
And they use
yeah.
weird things, don't they, to get the sounds? Like they'll use like, yeah.
But yeah, it's all
Well,
pretty low.
guys, I would say that if you haven't listened to it already, everyone, listen to Soft Voice, our podcast, a narrative podcast with Q Code, starring Olivia Cook, Belle Powley, and myself. We love this podcast so much. It's really fun. It's a dark comedy. It's very fun, funny, but also deals with all sorts of themes, and I'm sure there'll be things that everyone can relate to, and it's a bit weird and wacky, and it's great, and I think you'll love it, and listen to it with headphones on.
Yep. Apple, Spotify, everything like
Apple,
that.
Spotify,
Everything
everywhere.
else.
Yeah. Like
But yeah,
immersive audio.
definitely check it out. And as Naomi said, we're so enamored with it. We love it so much that that's the only reason why we keep finding excuses to talk about it and to share it. So do the same and let us know your thoughts where and when possible. But it's probably about time that we have some dinner in it, love.
I agree. Wait, what do we actually have for dinner?
I don't know.
Let's get fish and chips.
Spoiler alert.
Oh man.
Fish and
It's so
chips.
hard to get fish and chips in LA.
Fish. Oh, I feel, yeah, that's sad.
So hard.
Yeah, we feel we there's so many wonderful things that you guys do have access to that we don't, including the sun a lot of the time.
Yeah, you have very good like vegan. You have like loads of good vegan stuff.
That's true.
We'll swap out the.
But you got fish and chips. I expect I'm gonna be stalking your Instagrams looking for like fish and chip on your stories.
Oh girl,
Take a photo,
the phone goes away when I'm eating. I'm like this. I don't think to like, you know, like some people think to like take pictures of their food. I just think about inhaling it, you know. So there won't be any pictures, unfortunately.
Amazing. You two are such a joy.
Oh.
Please listen to Soft Voice.
Thanks.
Listen to
listen to
Naomi's
Soft Voice
more. Yeah.
It's been a pleasure chatting to you, my dear. And one day we will meet in
chat.
person, I'm sure.
That would be grand.
See you, everyone.
Thanks, gang. Bye.
Bye.